From a young Bob Dylan laying down songs for his legendary album Another Side of Bob Dylan to a collection of striking prints from a playful writing session with Coldplay, these rare studio snapshots document never-before-seen moments of the artists in the studio alongside the music they were making at the time. But it's not just blaring out at you, you'll be able to hear the songs in high resolution, something that most of us won't be used to with modern MP3 players.
These photographs are really interesting because I don't think anyone's tried to do this before, to actually bring this Sony high-res music files, which sound completely different, together with the moments they were recorded. And that's kind of quite unique. It's almost like time travel. You're sitting there listening to this and it sounds completely different. You're right there in the studio and you're staring at incredibly rare and unusual photographs of what was going on right at that moment. And actually it's quite magical. It's this thing of two completely different things. It's like watching 3D in a cinema. It jumps out at you sort of in an audio sense and a visual sense, and it's fantastic.
The tracks were chosen by radio DJ and music expert Tom Ravenscroft, who says people will be treated to music as the artist intended it to sound.
This kind of sounds a bit more like how it would have sounded in the studio at the time, rather than listening to some kind of grubby MP3s. I'm sure Dylan wouldn't want us listening to MP3s in the kind of the way we are. So it's I think it's trying to get back to a little bit more to kind of how these things should have sounded before we compress the hell out of them, which is what we do.
I wondered if they were worried at all about these priceless photos receiving the classic rock and roll treatment.
We've always been, as a venue, about letting people close to things. I'm not a museum, I'm a rock and roll photographic gallery. We have to be a little bit of rock and roll. And occasionally, if an egg gets broken making the omelette, we'll have to live with that.